Hi. So at the outset of this video, we were very clear that this is all conjecture and opinion. We are not
people.
We're just saying stuff.
There's some guys on the internet.
Yeah. We are not a reliable source of medical, legal information. Even our own opinions are unfounded. But you know what you can rely on for up-to-date and accurate information? Facebook. There's been a lot of memes going around and memes, copy pastas, guff. It is a gold mine for the Abbott Snopes user because, it's just a whole bunch of shit just gets shared.
It's people saying stuff.
Like I've seen about 5 people share the one with the computer-generated man, and he's got like the spores in his throat, and it's like
the terrifying red spores, like
no, they're generic ones, and it's like
spores.
it's hey, do you know what kills coronavirus? Heat. So if you think you've breathed it in, it lives in the throat for about 4 days. So have a hot cup of tea, and that will kill it. All bullshit. All right. If anything you put in your body, it immediately, or very quickly, cools down to the level of you. All right. So if you're not hot enough to kill the virus, a cup of tea you drink isn't hot enough to kill the virus unless it's so hot that it kills you.
But let's not move past how fucked it is that people are sharing misinformation. Like at a time like this when it's like almost impossible to find the actual information anyway, despite like you digging for it, how unethical is it for you to share stuff that you don't even know is a thing? Just to be like, you know what? You want to know if you've got coronavirus? You just simply hold your breath for 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
If you don't have any issues, you're fine, mate. You just go into a fucking soccer field and cough everywhere you want because it's fine.
Yeah, I read it on the internet. And let alone the fact that these always come with, hey, this was sent to me by a medical professional I know. Really? Because the last 5 people I saw share this thing with exactly the same fucking copy said the same thing. Is it maybe bullshit? And then you call them on it and they dig in. Nuh-uh. It's like, how is this a hill to die on? You just said a thing. No, you didn't even say it. You just copy-pasted
It's not a hill to die on. It's like, you are gonna kill people.
It's as fucking weak as the I don't give Facebook permission to use my data because of the Rome statutes, which I might point out is to do with war crimes, not Facebook data.
Oh look, hey, we've all got we've all got aunties who share that, who definitely don't want Facebook stealing their data.
These are young internet savvy people who should know better. You should know better. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Just listen to us. We're virtually doctors.
Science. It's science right now. One thing that is kind of starting to stress me out majorly is this sort of like weird pressure. Like if you're in a creative circle, there does seem to be this sort of just like, guys, we gotta stay inside for a month. It's cool. Now's your time. Write your novel.
This time is a gift.
This time is a gift. You stay inside, and you create. And it's just like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, silver lining. You'll be fine. But I think this is starting to do is like, we've come from this cult of productivity, right? Where everybody is just like constantly busy. And like, I am so a part of that cult where I'm just like every day, just all the time.
You are.
Shit. Awful. There's almost like a sense of relief right now where I'm like, oh, thank God, the world just like, have a little pause button. Amazing.
It would be relief if there wasn't all this pressure to do stuff.
I feel like I'm starting to compare my lockdown life to other people's lockdown lives. How is that healthy? I don't even ascribe to the notion of just like keeping up with the Kardashians, but also their lockdown life looks a hell of a lot better than my lockdown life. You see outside of this frame, it's just cat shit. Honestly, it's just cat shit.
Look, I gotta say, Albert Einstein discovered the theory of relativity while home one day with the squitters. So that's the measure that we're expected to come up with.
I can't come up with some kind of theory that I don't even understand what that does for me. Probably it's relative to something.
All I've been doing is masturbating and crying. Alternating at the same time. It's not been very productive at all.
We should do that in the same room instead.
No, it's my time. All right, just because we're both home at the same time doesn't mean we have to share every activity.
I'd like to share. But yeah, I feel like there has to be some kind of middle ground where it's okay to just like be devastated and think about how people are gonna die. And it's really hard. It's really hard to try to create something at the same time. And I realize that's ironic as we sit here making this YouTube video, but to be fair, it's been like a week since we did
the we're not that prolific.
We're not very prolific, no. So shut the fuck up, like it's fine. But yeah, I certainly feel like I don't know if it's to do with, well, hey, I don't know if it's to do with like the way that other people are sharing the quarantine. And I can't help but think that that's going to, are we going to go from like, I'm making a pie to, oh, everyone's dead.
There's no more pastry.
There's no more pastry very quickly. And when we look back on these times, like these sort of halcyon early quarantine where it's kind of almost nice in a way, obviously death and destruction aside.
If you're not sick and you don't know anyone else who's sick and you had no fucking money anyway, I could see how you might think it's a bit of a holiday.
What is it called? Like, we're all together alone, together in distance, together at home alone, home alone.
We're all alone together.
Get fucked! How many fucking hashtags does this shit need?
I'm
that's such a
start
2020.
So many fights. And you might think that I wouldn't be able to start fights because we're locked in. I mean, besides our fights, which never happen.
We should definitely stop referencing domestic violence in these videos.
But, but the beautiful thing is, thanks to the internet, I can start fights with anyone in the world. But there's just one thing standing in my way. It's not human decency and the quest for peace. It's how fucking shit our internet is in this country. Welcome to the NBN, which for...
What does that stand for?
National Broadband Network.
That was like an easy pun for you to be like, not great network.
Non-binary nostrils. Yeah, so it's the NBN, and now is its time to shine. Except, of course, they cheaped down on it. They fucked the whole thing up. It was meant to set our country up for, you know, decades.
A series of tubes that was going to connect all of us, okay? That's what it was going to be.
It was going to be. But unfortunately, Rupert Murdoch was worried that, you know, people wouldn't watch the arse-rapingly shithouse service that is Foxtel if you had access to the internet, what with the whole world being available at the fraction of the price with no commercials if you skip them. So he palled up with his buddies who run the country, the Liberal government, and they fucked the NBN. They decided to make it out of a series of balsa wood pipes, I think is what it's made out of now.
The internet, just so you know, doesn't travel through very fast.
Apparently not, no.
Balsa wood.
Yeah, and
it's more
so...
of a craft item.
Yes. And now they're saying, hey, you guys, maybe don't watch so much Netflix and Pornhub so that people can do business.
I'm sorry, but I will continue to watch just as much Pornhub as I have always watched.
It's my right, as someone who isn't paying for it, to access it as liberally as I want. And I don't care about people who are trying to do important medical conferences to solve this virus.
Or even just go to school.
But yeah, it's just one of the many ways in which this crisis that's befallen our nation and the world has laid bare some of the systemic bumblefucks that have been made in the quest for individual profit and corporate gain in the last, I don't know, since...
all of it.
Since we built the pyramids at the behest of the pharaohs under whip encouragement. I wasn't there, but I've heard it was tremendously uncomfortable.
I heard, isn't that where Jesus comes from?
Yes.
Okay, well.
So, yeah, NBN, things aren't going to work out for you.
I mean, as long as they drop the bandwidth, can I still look at porn?
You have moved into a space of technical understanding that I can no longer join you in.
That's a technical expert.
You take it from here. Josie's going to explain the internet and why everyone streaming at once is going to make it not work for the people who are actually trying to work.
At the moment, we're like working with this much and it's like this, but if they drop, can you guys see that? But if they drop, it's like not enough. But if they drop how much, like how good Netflix looks, it might be a little bit more like that.
So here's the situation, to bring us back to a Pornhub analogy. We cannot dilate the asshole because it's copper from the node, but we can come at it with a smaller dick. A smaller dick. And that's where we're left with. Thanks to the fucking NBN, it's needle dicks for all.
I mean, honestly, I feel like we shouldn't shame people, so needle dicks for all.
Needle dicks for all.